We've known for quite some time now that the Marvels has been delayed already up to 5 times, needing more reshoots and complete overhauls and scenes most likely because, well, a few simple reshoots and touch-ups in the CGI doesn't take a full year to complete. And once again, it is continuing to add on to that budget, which isn't a good sign when we just saw Ant-Man 3 underperform at the box office. It is not possibly going to be Marvel's first ever box office fail in theaters, with it possibly losing money. And with the Marvels having these characters that hardly anyone's interested in, I don't see this performing to the extent that Ant-Man 3 is done, and we continue to see that Kevin Feige himself continues and says that he wants to double down on these types of characters like Miss Marvel and Captain Marvel, which should already be a big red sign. And with Phase 5 already off to a terrible start, the Marvels is going to keep on adding to that pile, and it is being reported that the Marvels are removing goofy footage from the movie. As we get into the article, we actually might have Kevin Feige, Peyton Reed, and Jeff Loveness to thank in the long run, as it is claimed that Marvels is undergoing reshoots to dump the goofy footage in the movie and fix the third act. There is nothing to thank Kevin Feige for. He is ultimately the one greenlighting characters that no one wants to see on the big screen, and ever since he took full control over Marvel Studios, it has been on a downward spiral ever since. Continuing on, Kevin Feige's Phase 4 and the start of Phase 5 have mostly featured awful writing paired with extreme goofiness that has caused MCU fans to churn on their once beloved Marvel Cinematic Universe, where was once thought Kevin Feige and the company could do no wrong. Absolutely. We can't forget how badly they defiled the character of Thor, something that I will never understand to this day. Having him be the laughable joke, even though he's gone through very dark things, losing his homeworld and family. If that were to happen to anyone, they would be quite the opposite of a jokester. And yes, Kevin Feige's Phase 4 and 5 have been essentially movies that are comedies with a few serious scenes sprinkled here and there, and all the furthermore, you had Marvel remove an ending in Ant-Man 3 that was like Avengers Endgame. I would have taken that any day of the week. Endgame was extremely successful and was dark and grim. You lost Iron Man at the end, and we should have had a similar outcome in Ant-Man 3, but of course, they went with the generic good guys win over the bad guys, and no casualties of major characters were lost in the battle. However, following the string of failures theoretically and on Disney+, the MCU is not what it used to be, as flicks such as Eternals, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Thor Love and Thunder, and Ant-Man and the Quantumania haven't been well received, in addition to Disney+ shows such as She-Hulk and Miss Marvel, the latter being the least watched Marvel show on Disney+. She-Hulk will forever have a legacy in being known as some of Marvel's worst CGI that we'll ever get to see. You can almost ask anyone what the story is about, and no one remembers it because no one asked for it. As we scroll down here, this is the Marvelous poster, and I wouldn't be surprised if Captain Marvel herself gets sidelined by Miss Marvel and this other character up here in her own film that was originally supposed to be Captain Marvel 2, because of just how divisive Brie Larson is as Captain Marvel. It's just the way it is. You had ratings for the first Captain Marvel movie just absolutely tank when it comes to audience scores. Regarding the Marvels, the release date was recently pushed back for a second time, this time from summer to November, with the trades reporting the reason for the delays to give the film more time for post-production. Various scoopers chimed in and said the real reason for the delays is because the Marvels tested so poorly with test screenings and audiences. And that's what most likely caused the film to get pushed back. It wasn't the goodwill of Marvel realizing the dog pile of crap that they produced on their own. It took a test screen audience to change their mind. Now, a new rumor offers further insights as to the delay and problems surrounding the Marvels, where it's claimed the reshoots involve fixing the third act and removing goofy scenes. The info comes from the Watcher_2099 Twitter account, who appears to be new to the Scoop game, and Redditors have posted the information. In quotes, reshoots, I heard the third act is being reworked. There were also tonal issues with the film. They may trim some of the goofier stuff down. I'm also not sure the third act incursion is happening anymore, tweeted the account. So it appears the Marvels reshoots are happening, which will remove goofy scenes as a result of Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania failing, as well as the notion that the MCU is just too damn goofy, something the Mandalorian is now being chastised for. Now, all this could be just bullshiza, or there could be some merit to it, especially what we've been seeing with Marvel just continuously making their movies be more comedic than they should be, as Phase 2 and 3 were quite the opposite, having much more darker tones and situations in their movies than what we were seeing in today's Marvel with Phase 5 as well as Phase 4. And it certainly doesn't help when we were getting reports from multiple sources about the Marvels having poor test screenings, and what I think will end up happening is that you're going to have many scenes get cut from the movie, and when it finally releases, it's going to feel choppy as if something is missing. And I think it could hurt Marvel even more than just doing a few reshoots and touch-ups on the movie CGI, because either way, this movie isn't going to be a giant success as the first Captain Marvel was. And with Ant-Man 3 having bad week-to-week drop-offs, it's also showing you that there isn't as much people wanting to watch it a second time as we've seen with movies such as Infinity War and Endgame, which is what Ant-Man 3 was being compared to. And it shows that these newer Marvel movies don't have rewatchability to them as the older ones had, because fatigue is setting in and people are sick of seeing seeing the same generic superhero movies over and over. And it certainly doesn't help when Marvel keeps trying to save these unwanted characters and giving them major roles in key moments in upcoming movies and shows. This will only continue to bite them in the ass even more unless they start to actually listen to what the fans actually want to see on the screen, and to at least start to change up these generic superhero storylines and plots that have been redone over and over. And with all of that, I'd like to know your guys' thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye bye.